Well, thank you for joining me after this Thanksgiving holiday for this market timing wrap up for the end of the week. We had an interesting week this week, what with North and South Korea taking shots at each other and Black Friday being a success. The last 2 weeks of trading did create some bottoming tail candlesticks, with the bottom tail just about touching fair value, which can be a good sign because it shows some strength as the market weakens during the week and then comes back up to where it started. What's concerning me here is the rolling over of the stochastics and the MACD momentum slowing down slightly. May produce some price pressure in the short term. It all depends on if we get below fair value here, and if we do go below fair value, we could potentially come down into this area or maybe towards the bottom of the Bollinger Bands or this level of support around 10,500 on the total stock market index. That's the weekly chart. Let's take a quick look at the daily chart. The daily chart's a little bit more interesting. A couple weeks ago I established that I wouldn't at least take any new long positions until we started trading above this trend line. Last 3 or 4 days we did trade above that line. Wednesday we had a sharp rise up. Friday we pulled back a little bit on an abbreviated day of trading. We did come off the lows, which is a fairly good sign. Stochastics and the MACD are fairly flat. They look like they may want to turn up. On the other hand, they could easily turn down. If we do get below this support level here or this one here, we could drop down at least to this lower Bollinger Band. If you look at the volume, you can see how the volume tapered off, and we had a very short day on Friday. So I would expect this next week here to either continue this consolidation, maybe drop a little bit lower. If we start moving back up again, we could easily exceed this high that we set in the beginning part of November. We'll have to just watch this week and see what happens. The next two charts I want to touch on this week. The first one is the total new highs versus new lows. This is the 5-day total. You'll see on this chart I've drawn a green line at about 200 and a red line at about minus 200, and this sort of is the demarcation point between a bullish environment and a bearish environment. We finished the week at 700 new highs versus new lows on the 5-day total. This needs to move up to increase momentum. You can see the moving average are slowing their descent. If these two cross and this line continues to move up, I think that'll provide pretty good strength for the market as we go forward into the end of November and December trading period. I want to touch on the VIX today. It has some worrying indications to it. You can see that the lows are starting to not be as low each time we create a low. The VIX has a tendency to, if it's rising, it has a tendency to put pressure on the market. It looks like it may be creating a new high, and we're trading above both market averages, both moving averages here. So this could prevent, or at least prevent the market from moving up in the short term. We're going to have to watch this indicator. I don't like to use this as a driving indicator, but it does provide some extra insight. So that's it for the VIX. That's it for the 4 charts for this market timing update. If you'd like to get free emails with these updates, just go to www.stock-tradingpicks.com. The registration is free. Hope you'll enjoy some emails that has some stock picks and some stock analysis. In the meantime, we'll have another video out at the end of next week for market timing, and we'll have our weekly stock picks coming out in the next day or two. So you have a wonderful trading week, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.